Okay, so like, should I get PropStream? Or I just started. I used to do wholesaling back in the day, like maybe 6 months ago. But then I went to car flipping, and I had a property under contract, and the buyer went like behind me or whatever, and he talked to like the seller, and basically that fell apart. And
Well,
after that happened, go ahead.
did you have it under contract?
I did, but like I didn't know anything about wholesaling at all, really. I just like watched a couple videos. I started with like another guy on YouTube, and I got a property under contract like really simple, like really easily off Facebook. And I talked to the guy, and this is what really happened. He told me to we needed a new contract, so I said, yeah, sure. I mean, if we need a new contract, we need a new contract. So we wrote a new contract, and then he had like an inspection period. He had a hard money lender. He had all these things.
Yeah.
And then we went back to the original seller. And this is what actually really happened. I got it mixed up. The seller didn't want to sign the new contract. So like the whole thing fell. And it was such a good deal, man. Like it was a great deal. I had like 20, 15K like for sure on that deal. Quick.
So listen, Caleb, you've got to understand the fundamentals of wholesaling. You can't do this like by feel. And when somebody tells you to rewrite a contract, it's not usually in your advantage right off the bat. Just if you have a good deal, why are you going to, once you start changing paperwork, people get squirrely. Yeah. And usually when you're changing paperwork, there's a reason for it. Somebody has an agenda, and you're just too new to the business to understand that. So at Free Wholesaling, we teach you, use this contract, don't change it. And when you sell your contract, use this assignment contract. Do not change one word in it. You just change the numbers and the dates. That's it. The minute people start asking you to change stuff, they're trying to manipulate you. You just don't understand it. And the minute you go, well, you know, I'm going to be the easy guy, the nice guy here, you will get run under the bus 95% of the time. And so you got to understand it is you just got to stick it out. So the deal didn't work out, but I will tell you, you probably learned some valuable lessons on it, and you probably will never do that again going forward. Guys, when someone asks you to change a contract, it's not good. It's just not good. Like, do an amendment to it if you want to change something, but once you start canceling that contract, you're at risk. That's how people backdoor you in this business. Yeah. When your cash buyers start trying to manipulate your assignment agreement, you're going to get screwed. Guys, I've been screwed so many times. Not telling me that doesn't shock me. Yeah. You just got it. Once you get the motivated seller and they're confident and they believe in you, write a contract. It's your job to follow the fundamentals of wholesaling. And the minute something doesn't, like, well, Rick and Zach never taught me to do this and that, there's a reason why we tell you do follow this process and don't change it. I had someone tell me, go, Rick, the guy made me change this and this on my assignment agreement and I got screwed. I go, yeah, because you took the clause out of there. He knew exactly what he was doing. Yeah. In my assignments, just so you guys know, I've had so many people agree to assignment and they sign it, and then I have to chase them around for a deposit. And then I get a really good buyer the next day, goes, I'll give you 10 grand more than he did. And then I'm stuck trying to get this guy to release me out of an assignment contract without a deposit. So I wrote my contract. If you don't have a deposit in, I think mine's 24 hours where you can put the time on it, it's null and void. I don't have to chase you around. I don't have time to do this stuff. People will manipulate you. You give them if you give them an inch, they're going to take a mile. I'm telling you, you've got to learn the fundamentals of wholesaling. Freewholesaling.com. I teach, don't change the contract. It's a manipulation. Someone knows more than you and they want to manipulate. So just because you don't understand everything you need about wholesaling doesn't mean you wait. So you have to be disciplined. When people tell you, I want to use my title company, there is a reason for it. They're secretly not sharing it with you. It's going to be a disaster. Most likely your deal is going to fail, because if you use their title company, that is not a neutral party. That is like going to that's like being a visitor on the other person's field. You're going to get, I'm just like, oh, it's a title company. They all do the same. They don't. I'm telling you, 95% of title companies are built for the retail realtor, not for us. So when you take it to a realtor, they're like, we don't do assignment of contracts, and that's a scam. And I'm going to advise my client to get out of it. What do you mean your client? That's my client. Like, no. They called us for the title company, and you lose control of the deal really fast. So a lot of times I tell people, I go, listen, if you have a contract, they agreed to your title company, you're going to have to talk to them and play nice with them, but tell them, like, this is really non-negotiable for me. The reason we don't want you to switch title companies is because the deal won't work. 9 times out of 10. By the way, I lost a $150,000 deal because I broke this rule. I will never, ever switch my title companies unless I take possession of the property and I'm selling it for retail, then I don't care. Yeah. So every rule we have in freewholesaling.com is because I got screwed somewhere, somehow. So I've already gone through all the pain for you. So if you stick to it. Number 2, do the car flipping thing. Houses is a natural progression. It's a much bigger number. And you're going to have to pick which one you want to do. If you got to do that to make ends meet for now, but I'm just telling you, you've already proved wholesaling works. You just got to learn discipline. Yeah. That's one thing I lack, man. I lack a lot of discipline. No, but like, that's it. So listen, I write a contract. That's it. I'm in control of the seller. If somebody wants to switch something, put your money where your mouth is. Like, I ain't switching anything. anything until you do this.
Yeah.
Like you control the contract. The only way you transfer it is with an assignment of contract, and they have to have money on the line. Because if they screw you, they have a non-refundable deposit. You have leverage. When you do stuff as a favor to people you don't know, that's how you get run over in this business. And you just got to stop making your previous mistakes. Because if you make the same mistake over and over, it ain't a mistake anymore. You're doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
And I'm here to tell you, you have the ability to do it. You've already proven it. Imagine what you could do if you did this business full time. I'm telling you, just stick to your guns and don't and once you get a couple years under you, then if you want to deviate, but I'm telling you, that's usually when you get killed the most. I lost 150 grand because I thought I knew everything.
Yeah, that's
you
crazy.
guys know I've lost. I once contracted an entire hotel on the beach through an amazing rapport I built with this little old lady. And I didn't listen, and I thought I knew how to do everything. I lost almost $1 million to a hurricane because of an insurance policy, and then the property got deemed, and I still made a lot of money with it, but I thought I was hit it out of the park, and I didn't get the best advice in the world, and it cost me a ton of money. So I was a rookie doing the commercial. It was like one of my first commercial deals. You're still new to single family house flipping. If you just stick to freewholesaling.com, we'll show you the rules and navigate you so these people can't take advantage of you guys. By the way, do you know there's a certain demographic out there that targets people that are brand new to wholesaling, and they will manipulate and talk you into doing all this paperwork so they can screw you over? There's a people who make an entire living off of this, and you guys have to avoid them like the plague. The minute they start doing this crazy stuff, like here's an example. Great, I was sending the assignment a contract. It's a $5,000 non-refundable deposit. Go, no, I don't leave that much. They're telling you they're going to screw you. You just don't understand it yet. And they're going to go, no, what's the big deal? You know, I'll leave you $100. It'll be fine. And then you're going to go through a 30-day emotional roller coaster, and you're going to go, God, I wish I never did business with this person. Follow me up front. They're going to get all mad at you and scream at you. And you go, listen, Rick just saved me a ton of hassle. And that's how we teach you with wholesaling. I'm just telling you, man, this won't be the last time you do it. You got to come up with a regimen and stick to it. And you can't let them take advantage of you and talk you into these crazy things. You'll stop yelling at people to get the government list, stuff like that. So I'm just telling you, man, you got to follow a plan to move through it. And it's not, everyone's like, well, I'll just hire a wholesale coach. No, dude, your problems are just beginning when you hire those guys, because they're clueless. Like they're just like, here's what you need to do. You need to spend $10,000 a month on direct mail. Come on, man.
No, I went through all the freewholesaling.com. I went through it all. I made all notes. I have everything on my computer. And I guess like the best thing I can do is probably just get PropStream, cool like niche list or whatever you guys call it, whatever that word is.
You get 10,000 leads a month.
Yeah, PropStream is probably the way to go.
I never make it a requirement for you guys to buy anything. Like you could do it all without it. Will some of this make it easier? Yeah, spending $100 a month is a lot cheaper than hiring a $3,000 to $4,000 a month employee. Trust me, I tried all that stuff. You guys don't know how good you have it with technology today. It's ridiculous, and it's about to get even more insane. So if you can afford to do it, it's go, listen, okay, $100, that's all I can spend right now. Maybe a little bit of skip tracing, and come up with a budget and execute a plan. You need to stay on point with discipline and execute. And when you get a deal on it, go, once I have it under contract, I'm staying in my lane. I'm not going to let someone talk me into something. I'm using my title company, I'm using my contracts, and I'm using my assignment of contracts. And if anybody wants to waiver on this stuff, I know I'm going to filter. A lot of people complain about cash buyers vetting them. You call 10 cash buyers, like when you have a deal, and 8 of them will go, I don't want to send you approved funds. That's not fair. Why should you get my information? Have a nice day. Thank you. They're telling you they don't have money up front. I tried forever to figure out every cash buyer. Guys, I'm a cash buyer. I buy plenty of stuff cash. You send me a great deal, I'll send you approved funds in 10 seconds, because I know how valuable deals are like that to come across my plate. Most likely you have another wholesaler trying to daisy chain your deal, and that's why you're getting the BS runaround. And the minute you start to cut through people's crap, the better you can do.
Yeah, I went to Zillow for sell by owners, and it was bad, man. Like it was so saturated, it was crazy. Zillow for sell by owners.
But I'm telling you, got the skill set. You've already proven it. You're just a little undisciplined, and you need to get a little more direction. But remember, at the end of the day, you have to make yourself accountable. No paid coach is ever going to do that for you, because when you pay them, are they really making you accountable? If you can't make yourself accountable, you'll never succeed in this business. It is when you decide to do that, you're like, okay, I'm doing it, man. Some people, I tell you, just burn the ships and do it, man. Because if you thought it was scary with what you're doing now. So how old are you?
I just guessed, man. How old do I look? How old?
Boy, see, now you got to get me in trouble. So you're not a chick, so I can get away with this.
So no.
26?
Nah, man. Nah, younger.
Okay. 18.
Older.
Okay. So I'm somewhere in the middle. Just spit it out, because I only got so much time.
22.
There you go. 22. Okay. So I taught my son this business at 17. So age is not an issue. So it's you got to understand, when I started, I had what I thought was a big mortgage at the time, which which really wasn't a lot. I had 2 young children and I had a crap load of debt. And I was horrified, man. And I was what I thought leaving that, like, it wasn't it was a decent paying job, but it was 70, 80 hours a week, on call 6 days a week. I hated every minute of it. So I said, screw it. I'm just going to do it. Like, what's the worst that's going to happen in my life? I can always go back and do a job like this. They're a dime a dozen. And that's how I looked at when I did it. And so you're going to have to make some decisions what you do. Dude, you're so freaking young. You have like the entire world in front of you. Just, you got to try to find the sea and the ocean that you want to paddle in. And the sooner you can find it out, it is better, but it's not the end of the world, guys. Honestly, I didn't get my traction until my late 30s. It's okay.
Yeah, I found out what I want to do. I want to do real estate, but like I have no money. So like this is the best thing, I guess, in real estate to do. It's just
do it.
Wholesaling,
then do it. Just, you got to stick to some rules when you get stuff under contract.
Yes.
You can be a wild child till you get to that. Once you get to the contract, think about that. You're basically a football team on the 2-yard line. You just need to punch the damn thing in the end zone. It's first and goal, 2 yards. I would go with the plays that had the highest probability and just do it. That's why they try 2 runs, usually 2 passes at the end.
Yeah.
That's all you need to do. If you understand that, then you're fine. The minute someone tries to navigate you, go, let's change this, let's do that. Zach told me about this. This is where I'm going to get screwed. And when you see it coming before it comes, it's incredible. Honestly, dude, if I told you how many times I got ran over, check this out. Once, when I was much younger, I found a deal off of a foreclosure. I door knocked. Lady's like, I'm desperate to sell my house. I go, man, it almost sounds too good to be true. It was. I signed a contract with her only to find out after the fact she was in a contract for 6 months with an unruthless wholesaler, and the house was being sold in 10 days at an auction. I got a lawyer involved. I got everything done. I got all this help. I did it. I made like a $20,000 assignment fee. She got out. She got equity at the house. Everybody wins, right?
Yeah.
Wrong. I got sued, and I was set up by the homeowner. They had an agreement with the other wholesaler, and she testified against me and wrote an affidavit, and I found out they were in cahoots. So not only did she get her money, he cut a deal with her to split the proceeds from suing me. And I've just learned, after I learned, my attorney says this guy sued 42 other people, and it's a scam they set up. But guess what?
Dang.
I said initially, I go, this is too good to be true. It never happens this way. And my gut intuition was right. And I got so excited, I just went forward. And if I just took some time to do some more diligence, it cost me about 50 grand out of my pocket.
So like, how do you stop that from happening? You just had to do more due diligence. How do you know?
So they were in a huge hurry, like too much of a hurry. And I got fooled into it. And I was naive. And I thought I was getting a really good deal. I thought I was helping out. And then, I gave up my title company and I used theirs. That's where I got killed.
Dang.
And that's when all the stuff, and then I find out they manipulated the contracts. I rushed through the closing and I signed a hold harmless, and they were supposed to sign a hold harmless and their side didn't sign it. And that's how they countersued me. Okay. And guys, the name of a lawsuit is to leverage money out of you. It's never to win the lawsuit. It's to leverage it. And because I wasn't disciplined, I got in trouble with it. And I'm just telling you, like, I don't do that stuff anymore. Like when people try to rush me through a transaction, I go, okay, am I missing something here? And I ask them, and then I'll give it to the title company. I go, something doesn't seem right with this. Can you do some deep digging? And so remember, writing the initial contract, you can't get in trouble. It's when you go to the title company and they go, hey, something came out of the woodworks, this or that. And I'm not telling you guys to scare you. I'm just telling you, a lot of times your gut instinct is correct in this business.
So why is it so important, like, to use your own title company? Why is that?
Because they look out for your back and they understand what you're doing.
Okay.
And they'll tell you when people go, this guy keeps calling me, there's something fishy going on here. So the other day we had a deal, and my title person goes, hey, the guy's called me 5 times. I think you have a problem with this guy. I go, okay, I'll call him right now. We called him. I go, listen, you have a non-refundable deposit. He goes, yeah, I want to talk to you about that. I'm like, there's no talking. It's set in stone. You agreed to it. You were going to follow through or you're going to lose it. I do not negotiate with people once they've signed contracts and done everything. You have to be flexible with the sellers, but when it comes to my cash buyers, you signed the agreement, you're going to follow through with it. And here is the finality if you don't do it. So, dude, you got to make a decision. You're still really young. It doesn't matter with that. Like, you have your whole life in front of you. If you want to do this, I would go all in and dive in. I don't think you'll go wrong with the prop stream. And me and Zach show you how to use it. And I think it's like really cool. Like, I think it's an amazing piece of technology. And you being a one-person operator, it's not a bad. You can use batch, you can use prop, use Zach data, you can use listrei.com. I don't care. Like, honestly, I make everything free for you guys. So it's we use them both in our business. I max them out like like crazy. And honestly, I couldn't run my business without them. But I use ListSource, CoreLogic for the better part of my life. And guys, by the way, it was $1,500 a month. And that was a lot more. And that was in today's money. My God, that was what it was 10 years, 15 years ago. Compared to today, this is dirt cheap stuff, man. You really got to look at it. So if you cut out a couple coffees and a couple dinners, you're right there.
Yeah, I mean,
So.
I basically got everything. I just need to get the deal because I just found a title company that works investors and wholesalers. So I guess now is just finding the deal. It's always that first deal that's always the hardest.
Now you get it. You were there before. You just like got to stick to some discipline. You'll do fine. So
okay, man. Well,
okay, man.
I appreciate you, man.
Okay, go back and make up with the person at the government agency. And guys, understand the FOIA, man. It's like an empty thread. I wouldn't even go there anymore because I think a lot of them have like figured out they're never going to do a FOIA. It's like when that person goes, "I'm going to sue you." I laugh my butt off when people tell me that. I'm like, obviously, you don't understand how lawsuits work.
Yeah.
Lawsuits are complex, they're expensive, and they're emotionally draining for people. And people don't understand just the basics of a lawsuit. There's no lawyer on this earth that will take a retainer less than $5,000 or $10,000 just to hear your problem.
Yeah, it was a waste of time for sure.
Yeah, so it's like when you do the FOIA, like I'm telling you, when you see the paperwork and all the crap you got to do, it's like, and by the way, you're not going to get the result you want in the end. So just understand that, and you tried it, and just learn from your mistakes. The key here is don't repeat them.
I know. But I need to find some other people like to actually do this with. I want a JV, man. I'm a people's guy, so like I need to like.
Okay, well, there's so look at some of the Zach's done some interviews. I have people that in this thread comment, I'm not going to throw out names, but they constantly come to the lives and they find people to JV with them. Now, me and Zach do JVs. We're selective about it because I do this for free. It's got to make sense. But I have one person that's done like 25, 30 deals in my group.
That's crazy.
Why? Because he just knows how to talk to people. He makes it very attractive and he doesn't screw people over. Now, I don't publicly endorse people because I'm careful with it, but I'm telling you, if you want to do that you can make an entire business built around it. You just got to add value and help people out. That's all you need. So
sure. I'll make a way, man. I appreciate you though, man.
Okay, man. Go get it, man. Go apologize to her.
All right, so.